And if you run into a problem,
And you come back.
then you come back.
That was a discussion we had, is just in terms of timing with it. Typically you mulch in the spring. Here we're going to be in August and mulching. Those kind of decisions are trying to put off because our budget's tight. Maybe do that a little later and seeing how things work out. So those are the options, and the conversation with Commissioner Price was, let's bring it up at the meeting. We had the opportunity to do that, so whatever you decide.
Then I entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we allow Mike to spend $1,000 on mulch for his staff to mulch the courthouse grounds in its entirety.
Do I have a second? Second. Motion and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it.
Okay, thank you, John. One item to let you know about is the sewer work on Lover's Lane.
I was just getting ready to ask you.
I know you were. He was going to start on Monday, but it got a little wet on Monday. So he's planning to start today and expects to be complete by the end of the week.
Now, there was this holdup about this valve that Mrs. Reed's property.
Yep, it came in. So.
You got it?
Yes, he's
Well,
checking. Oh, no.
That's what I was gonna ask you, because
Okay.
I don't know what kind of valve that was, but it must have been a pretty fancy one, because it's been, I never heard tell of it take, I mean, it's been a month or more probably.
We actually got it, when we went to these three different suppliers that we usually go through that are pretty reliable. Actually, it came from Canada. It wasn't fancy, it was just the particular size, I think.
Well, the reason I was gonna ask you is because I got another phone call from Mrs. Reed, and I missed it. I didn't get it till I saw it this morning, so maybe she's calling to say thank you. We've heard
Right.
it.
Well, she emailed me about it. And then
Okay.
I followed up to make sure, because I knew he was potentially coming on Monday, and then with all the rain and everything. So I got the update on that. I emailed her back, and she said, this is the best news I've gotten in a long time. So she's aware of it and everything, so.
Well, good. So she knows you have this
He
valve.
knows, I told him that Richard was going to go to the supplier and make sure everything's there, that the supplier told him was there. Because I'd love to see this thing done too.
Sure. It's the house for her daughter, and I think she wants to get her moved in there, and it's all done except this, I guess. And
you're right.
but anyhow, thank you very much for
Sure.
following up, and
And now you can call Miss Reed and know that you're not going to be yelled at.
that's right. Good, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? I'm going to work on getting.
We hope we
an
don't see you
update.
for a while.
Well, I don't know that that's going to work.
No more contingency.
Okay, I'll try.
You've had your allocation, your allotment.
Thank you, Mike.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Kent Alcohol and Tobacco Enforcement, Kate, Miss Bonnie S. Pearsall, Inspector, Kent Alcohol and Tobacco Enforcement, Tobacco Compliance Check Results, 21 or None Tobacco Campaign.
Good morning, how are you?
Good morning. Good morning.
This is just an update to let you know that the second round of tobacco compliance checks were completed that were required for fiscal year 2023. Three out of the establishments sold to under the age of 21 years old. Citations were issued to these establishments that were in violation. These establishments will be re-inspected within 30 to 60 days after their violation. We will be sending out tobacco compliance responsible retail letters to the ones that were in compliance with the tobacco checks. And also, we will be sending out tobacco non-compliance check result letters to the ones that failed the compliance checks that sold underage.
Very good.
That's all I have for you today.
Okay.
All right?
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a great day.
You too.
Now we're down to public comment, media review. Anyone have any questions, concerns? Dr. Couch, it's nice to see you, and,
I signed it for public comment.
oh, okay.
I thought maybe she was bringing us the check.
We have Dr. Couch.
Is that all?
Yes,
Dr. Couch, you come forward, please.
thank you.
How are you today?
Good, we're good. I wouldn't ask for any contingency money. John's not in a very
I'm
good
not,
mood.
no, I'm not
Don't
going to ask
do
for
that.
any. First of all, I just wanted to make sure if I have more than 3 minutes. Not that I'm going to take a long time, but I have about 4 things
You're
I'd like to.
okay. Go ahead.
All right. So my purpose is to update you on what's going on with Kent County Public Schools, just a few updates that I thought you'd like to know about. And then I thought I would make I'm here today mainly to clarify some comments that were made about the BOE's FY24 budget. So I'll end with that, but I wanted to update a couple other things. We are in full swing with our summer academies. We have summer academies for our kids at all 3 elementary schools and at the middle school. We have approximately 375 students enrolled in our summer academies, which is an incredible number for our students to be attending our summer schools. And, go ahead.
What is that?
It's
Explain.
essentially summer school. We've identified students that need support for interventions and also for enrichment. And so these academies are open to all of our students, whichever students would like to attend. We have it at Garnett, Rock Hall, Galena, and at the middle school. We would have had it at the high school as well, but we're under construction for the roof project, so they're all at the middle school. And so we have 375 students enrolled in our programs, and we've had approximately 50 credit recoveries, 50 credits that were recovered by students that were attending.
You mean that they made it up during the
Yes,
summer
right.
because maybe they had failed it
Correct.
prior to that? Well, that's
Correct.
great.
So we had a really nice turnout. Thought you'd be interested in knowing that.
That seems like a pretty good number as well, 375 kids that want to take their summer to
That's
go to
large.
school.
That's more than we've ever had.
Yeah, good.
So it's really good.
Thank you.
I thought you would like to know that we have a change in leadership at Kent County Middle School. The new principal at Kent County Middle School is Mark Buckle, and our assistant principal is Kelly Melvin, who is she's been a long-term teacher with Kent County Public Schools. She actually started her career as a teacher at the middle school. She taught at Garnett Elementary and was also an instructional coach for the last couple of years. So there'll be a brand-new middle school administrative team next year. So I thought you'd be interested in knowing that. The roof replacement at Kent County High School is scheduled to be completed August the 31st. So we're well underway with that.
Cutting it close.
Yeah, cutting it close. That is the completion date. Obviously, we're hoping that we're done a little bit sooner than that, but that's the scheduled date of completion.
What is the first day of school?
After Labor Day. Students, well, teachers start before, but the students start after Labor Day. Kent County Middle School feasibility study. We will be here to present the 2 options that we have. We started out with 5 options under the feasibility study. We've narrowed it down to 2 options. We would like to get input from the county commissioners. That's going to be important for us to finalize the final option that we have so we can go forward with funding. And then our plan is to go before the legislature and ask for a higher percentage for the state to participate in the project itself. There has been precedent set a couple of years ago. Garrett went before the legislature, and they were a 50-50 share. 50% came from local, 50% came from the state. They went before the legislature, and they were able to improve that to 80% coming from the state.
Well, that's a
So,
big deal.
yeah, that is a big
Because
deal.
we have that same 50-50
Yes.
split, so
Right.
it's
So it is
a
our
good
hope.
example to follow, and that extra 30% is a lot of money.
Makes a big difference.
It's an amazing amount of
Yeah,
money.
so we're going to move forward with that. Our plan is to meet with the delegation on August the 8th. Ms. Heller is providing us with the conference room here because I know they're going to present to you about, talking about Kerwin on the 8th. So we want to talk to them about legislation to go forward and request a higher percentage. And, you know, we're going to give it our best shot, and hopefully we can secure more money and move that project forward.
Well, we have some legislative issues that I plan on discussing with the delegation as well. And that was going to be one of them also. So maybe if we talk about it here and at some point when they come up to the conference room to meet with your staff.
Yep, yep.
We'll actually be meeting with
Before.
Dr. Couch before.
We'll meet at
Okay.
9.
And then
All right, well,
everybody,
you can grease the wheel.
I'll grease the wheel, yes.
And then we'll just,
So it's hopeful. We figured out what the average percentage is, just surrounding counties, and the average is 70% paid for by the state. But the other interesting dynamic that we're also discussing is the fact that we are a CEP school system now, which means we're community eligibility provision, which means all of our students now in every single school, all 5 of our schools will offer free lunch and free breakfast for all of our students. That is a big deal. There are only, I think, there are probably only 4 school systems in the state that are eligible for that, and that means you have to have a high percentage of poverty in your school system. Again,
I'm not laughing at
I-
what you
it's-
just said, but how can you be eligible for that and be considered a rich county?
Exactly.
At the same time, it just,
yeah.
well, we've had that conversation.
Right,
with
so that's a big deal, and we want to bring that up, because in the counties that are CEP school districts, Somerset, for instance, have all of their schools that are participating in CEP, 100% of their capital projects are paid for by the state,
100%.
100%. Yep,
Unbelievable.
yeah, so, I mean, I think my goal is to try to get us at least to 80% paid for by the state for this project, which would be huge.
You know, you can make sense of things where maybe one county seems to have a little more resources or something, but 50% difference? I mean, if we built, we would have to pay for half of a school as it is right now, and then the other ones, they don't have to pay anything. I mean, it can't be that much difference.
Right.
That's,
Yeah, Queen Anne, it's 50-50. I think Talbot is 60-40, but, you know,
and every
it's just-
time we go there to talk to, and years ago, we even went to the state board before you were even around. I mean, the board I served with then, we went clear to Baltimore and talked to them about this. They will not talk about that wealth formula, and I am convinced that it's because they can't justify it. They will not talk about how we're considered a wealthy county, and it just makes, I think the reason they don't want to talk about it is because they can't make sense of it either, but anyhow, that's good news,
Right.
anyhow.
And I have handouts. I thought it would be important for me to talk a little bit about our FY '24 budget. I listened to your meeting on June the 27th, and I know that Mr. Wall was here to talk about Kerwin, and there was a brief discussion about the Board of Ed's budget. And there was a comment made that making cuts to a wish list is not like making cuts to the budget. And so what I'm here to do is to set the record straight, if you will, that we indeed did make cuts to our budget, and we also made cuts to the wish list. So this is a list, I'm passing out to you a listing of all of the positions that we eliminated. These are actual positions that were in place in FY '23 that will no longer be in place for FY '24. So if you go to Kent County High School, we eliminated 4 teaching positions: a music teacher, a Spanish teacher, social studies teacher, and a special education teacher. We also eliminated 2 instructional assistant positions and 1 custodian. Kent County Middle School, we eliminated a special ed teacher. Garnett, we eliminated 1 teacher and 2 instructional assistants. Galena, we eliminated 1 teacher, 1 instructional assistant. Rock Hall Elementary, we eliminated 1 teacher. We also moved 1 instructional assistant into the TSI budget, which is a restricted budget, so we took it out of the general funds and we moved it into basically a grant position. We eliminated 1 bus route, which what came to a tune of just short of $100,000 by eliminating 1 route. We also eliminated $10,000 out of the general fund for transportation. We eliminated $25,000 out of the maintenance budget, $35,000 out of the facilities budget. We eliminated a coordinator position in student services. We eliminated 4 CNA positions in the nursing department. We reduced our fixed charges by $700,000, and all of that totaled to $2.1 million that we cut our budget. These are actual cuts to our budget for FY24. If I add the wish list, we eliminated $1.4 million from the wish list. So if you add the 2.1 and the wish list, it actually comes to $3.5 million. But I just wanted to be sure that I was clear in the communication that we didn't just cut our wish list, we cut our budget. So I just wanted to make that
And
clarification.
I think some of that, I mean, I guess we had another pretty good drop in pupils. Our enrollment went down a fair amount.
Actually, not really. I mean, it depends upon how you look at it. If you look at pre-pandemic, we're still down in enrollment. But last year, our enrollment was up from the year before. So how we eliminated these positions is we bumped up class sizes. So you're going to see, if you walk into
I
our
see.
classes in next year, or it's already this year, but if you walk into our classes this year, you will see an increase in the number of students. We've got 27, 28 students in the high school in most of our classes now, and we have 24 students in most of our elementary classes now. So, yeah, so I just wanted you to be aware so that we're all, one of the things that I want to be upfront with you and transparent is when I say we cut our budget, I want you to rest assured that we really did cut our
I
budget.
understand.
And it wasn't just a wish list, it was an actual cut in our budget.
Thank you.
So, anyways, we'll see how next year goes. And is there any other questions? Since I'm here, is there anything else you'd like to know about all things KCPS?
No, I don't have any questions, but I will say that I wish Mr. Buckle a lot of luck at the middle school. And I think if we can have him get a little bit of our discipline issues under control, I think look, I'm not an educator, but from hearing, and I think that would go a long ways in making us feel a lot better. I think that's something I personally hope he concentrates on a little bit.
Yep,
So thank you.
yep, no problem.
Anybody
Anything
else?
No, I just
Okay.
reiterate that and say, I'm happy that Mark's doing it. He's a homegrown product of the Kent County public school system, and I just love it when that,
He actually started his career at the middle school, too.
yeah.
So,
Very good.
as a science teacher, so,
I agree.
yeah. So, we're looking forward to a good year. And I will see you on the 8th.
Thank you for the.
All right,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Thank you.
Anyone else like to comment? Well, thank you all for coming. Now I'll make a motion I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn?
Second?
Motion and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed?